Good morning. Today is September 17th, 2018. I haven't done a reading in quite a while. It's been a week. I did pull some cards on Thursday, and I pulled some cards today. I'd like to actually walk us through both. I'm thinking, why not, even though time has passed? And the cards I pulled on Thursday were really for the weekend, what we can look forward to. I feel that it's still a valid reading. So I just wanted to talk about that just for a moment, because I had people come to me and say to me, how is it possible that so many of us are connecting to your reading? And, how is it possible that you could do a tribe reading and it's relevant? And I've been shown very clearly that we are together for a reason. In other words, the people that come into our lives and the people that are playing out in our theater of our lives are divinely orchestrated. You could say that, if you believe in a hierarchy of light and unconditional love, or if you also, well, my belief is that there's a hierarchy, but I believe that we belong in that hierarchy. So there's a part of us, a divine part of us, that's in there, that is in this different dimension, that is making sure that all the right ingredients are in our life, and that we are interacting in such a way that these readings are relevant to all of us. And the way I've made that realization was watching a YouTube channel. This young lady had, I don't know how many people, tens of thousands of people that. And when I was looking at the comments that she was getting, I started to realize that not only was I deeply connecting to her reading, and I saw myself in what she was saying, but everybody else did too. So I said to myself the same thing. How is that possible? That's why I started doing tribe readings. I started doing tribe readings because I realized that, okay, so I'm connected to certain people and they're connected to me. So this is going to be relevant to others. And I didn't really have to believe in it or not. In the sense, no, I believe in it, but I didn't have to get confirmation is what I'm trying to say. I didn't need someone to call me and say to me, wow, that was relevant to me. So this is why I do tribe readings. And the other thing that I've noticed, and I just want to mention it, I'm not going to repeat it in others, so hopefully you'll catch it in this one, is that I notice with my readings that, it starts out with a theme and ends with a conclusion. So the first two cards and the last two cards have that role. And that's how I work with my guidance. I let them know, okay, what's the theme that's going to be played out in this reading, and what is the end message. And then many times I pull from other decks just to shed light, because the end messages sometimes are a little vague. But what I'm trying to coach you through is that most of what I am saying is giving you some kind of an idea of what's happening now in the different houses. In other words, your finances, your intimacy, your relationships, family. But most of it is giving you advice about that, and also telling you what you can look forward to. So it's very futuristic. It's not like, it's not just telling you this is what's happening. It's really telling you what's going to happen, and it tries to give you advice about that. And that's what I like about the reading. So a lot of times when I read the cards, it almost seems like it's repeating itself, because something is coming, and it's kind of coaching you through, okay, yes, this is what's happening. And, soon enough, I have a very specific friend of mine who has been going through a process. I can't wait until the process is done, because I think we've been doing this for 6 weeks, where I've been coaching her through something, and I just want to be able to share it at some point. You know, the miracle of it, really. So, so when you look at these readings, they're going to sometimes they sound very similar, but it's because it's kind of like spirit encouraging us, saying, yes, you're going to be going through bumps in the road, but there is something at the end that you need to pay attention to. There is something coming that is positive, and there is something about this lesson that's going to bring you to a place where you need to be, that we're trying to get you to. Okay, so let's go over the reading. This is the reading that I pulled on Thursday. And the first two cards, which are the theme, is the Two of Cups and the Eight of Pentacles. I had to pause it for a moment to look at it more carefully. Just the numbers. So the Two of Cups and the Eight of Pentacles. So the theme is about divinely guided partnerships. Now, usually when I see the Two of Cups, it looks like it's a twin flame relationship or a soulmate relationship or divine counterpart. But it's really important to realize that it's not just about intimacy. The Two of Cups could be this relationship with this person that's coming into your life that's so divinely guided that it has that mesh. It creates that rising of the two snakes up to the wings above. Is very divinely guided, and it has to do. This relationship is possibly intimate, possibly not, but it has to do with our work and our craft. In the union of this relationship, there's going to be money coming in, and there's going to be recognition in the public eye, on the world stage, for what you're doing together. So pay attention. If you're already in a relationship that resonates to this, pay attention to what's happening. It's all coming up. And if you're not, stay very alert to those who are coming into your life now, because you're going to start to meet the right partnerships to move you in the right direction, especially in your creative projects, and especially in things that are related to your skills that you've developed up until now. So the first row of cards we pulled. Okay, the first card is the Six of Swords, and this is about leaving conflict behind. This is about moving to safe ground. So many of us have felt we've been through a lot. It could be about personal relationships in terms of intimacy. It could be about family, children. It could be about business, friendships. In some category, in one of our houses, we've dealt with a lot of emotional turmoil. And it's telling us we're finally getting to the other side. We're coming to safe ground and we're moving on. And in relation to this, the Justice card has been pulled as well to reflect on this. So it's whatever seemed unfair in this part of your life is going to come to balance. As long as you are really standing on the place of truth and compassion and kindness, and you still found that you were not didn't end up being on the winning side of it, that justice will prevail and things will come to a rebalancing. And there's also the Hierophant came out, which means this is something that's going to it's kind of striking an extra exclamation point on this, because the Hierophant is kind of like the high priest. He has wisdom. He decides, teaches, and is the institutional version of religion on earth. So there is not only the legal system saying that justice will prevail, but also on the spiritual level. There is a backing here. And then there's a Two of Pentacles, which means that if you, it might be just highlighting that through this process, we've had to juggle finances. And although it's been difficult, we have been able to deal with the ups and downs of the financial roller coaster that we've been encountering. But then we have the Wheel of Fortune. And the Wheel of Fortune means that whatever has happened in the past and whatever circumstances you had is going to be complete reversal. So if you are the short end of being able to manifest, if things are not working for you financially, if you haven't been able to find the right person to collaborate with, all of that is going to change. And it's an interesting thing because the first two cards that we pulled is about sacred relationships and your craft. So when I say there's going to be a complete change of events, it also could be with not only, it could be new partnerships, or it could be that your circumstances in this partnership you already have is going to come to a new level. So it doesn't mean that you're not going to be with the same person. It only means that if you haven't been able to manifest up until now in this relationship, you will be able to do so. And what is required of us? What is required of us is strength. It requires us to be courageous and strong, but with this beautiful grace. It's telling us, don't be sort of like, think of the Knight of Swords, which is like the sword is out and the knight is charging. It just says, that's not how you have to be in this situation. In this situation, you need to be tempered, confident, step into the feminine side of yourself, show your courage and strength, but do it with grace and kindness. And the Queen of Swords it's a possibility. It's an actual person that's involved in this. It could be one of the two in the relationship, or it could just simply be a benefactor coming in. But she's also, the energy of the Queen of Swords is that she's so intelligent and so logical. It's kind of like Justice. She could see underneath everything and everyone and knows how to make decisions. So it's kind of like giving you the energy of the Queen of Swords of being decisive and sure of yourself and how you move forward. And then you have the Ace of Wands, which is new beginnings and manifestations. Is giving you that push of energy and the assurance that you can wield that wand. You have the ability to manifest in a big way. So whatever it is that you're planning to do, you're going to start to notice there's going to be an opportunity coming up. And then the next line starts out with a Five of Wands. Now the Five of Wands, it's about conflict. It could be a physical conflict. It could be that you and your partner are not exactly agreeing, but it's not swords, they're wands. So it's more of a battle of wills, a battle of ideas, and it's innocent, and it's something that you can work through. But this is also might be reflecting your inner world and the way your mind is. You might be somewhat in conflict with the things that are going to come up. You're not going to be completely sure, but you will. But not to be afraid of that. Don't be afraid of being in some conflict with the things that are happening and not being sure, because you have to go into your intuition. Just trust your intuition that you have what it needs. Just make the right decisions. The next card is the Ace of Swords. So the Ace of Swords assures you new beginnings and victory in all the things that you start. So this playful back and forth sometimes is healthy between two people who are throwing around ideas. They're trying to move something forward. And there needs to be a little bit of that, right? Like, so that the best ideas come out, and then you're able to actually manifest in the best way possible. So the Ace of Swords is telling you that this process of working through ideas is going to help you make victorious and decisive decisions on the creative projects that you're trying to push forward. Or whether if you're already in a project and you're in the middle of it, or on the ascent of something, that you'll be given what you need to continue to move forward. Now, the next card is the Seven of Pentacles, and it came in backwards. And what that's telling me is that whatever you're doing, you're not going to be doing anymore. So some of us are in positions, and we are employed. We're doing things in life that we're not really enjoying, because although and we're not really making a lot of money at it anyway, but it's kind of like we have to do it. And saying is not going to, that's going to be yesterday's news. Something's going to happen, the Wheel of Fortune, where you're going to be able to manifest the Ace of Wands, new beginnings in this physical world, the Ace of Swords, that's going to take you out of where you are now and bring you into the Ace of Pentacles, which is new beginnings financially. Now, when you get, I'm just remembering this woman that says to me, "Tienes el as de oro," which means you have the Ace of Pentacles. You have the Ace of Pentacles. You can manifest big financially. So here we have the Ace of Wands, the Ace of Swords, and Ace of Pentacles. Lots of new beginnings and lots of ability to manifest big. Next row starts out with the Queen of Wands. So the Queen of Wands could be a person specifically in this relationship. She's very wise, a person who's lived, it's a feminine energy. It doesn't have to be gender. It's a feminine energy that has a lot of wisdom, has lived her life, and has the ability to really use that wand. She's witchy. She's a witch. She's or the sorcerer, the witch or the sorcerer, but with that has a little bit of a feminine energy. And I'm looking at the next three cards, and we have the Four of Swords, which is telling us that there's a part of us that needs to be able to rest after being in a battle. A lot of us are battle worn, and it's telling you need to put down the sword, and take these moments that are in between things happening to really rest and recover, to start to trust, because the star is there and it's saying there's a lot of higher guidance. There is a lot of higher guidance here, and we are assisting you to stay confident and stay flowing with the events, but take these moments to rest and connect to that intuitive feminine side of yourself. And it's also telling you that there's much about your life in the past that you need to learn how to leave in the past. That's the Ten of Swords. Some things are so done. There's an overkill already about some of the karmic things that have happened in our past, and it's really telling us to use all you have in your toolbox: meditation, connecting to your hierarchy, speaking to someone like a Queen of Wands, someone who has wisdom, to start to move towards this, to a serenity about your life, to put to rest all the things that are karmic in your life, because that happens to be your biggest obstacle to manifestation, is what you're holding on to from the past. And it's trying to give you the confidence. We are divinely guiding you. We are trying to assist you. There are cosmic transits, there are planetary transits that are assisting you in doing this as well. So don't be surprised if some of the stuff starts to come up. you're going to start feeling these feelings, but what you need to do is make efforts to say, okay, this is no longer relevant to me. And as they come up, because of the planetary transits that are happening, eclipses, solar flares, all kinds of stuff, Mercury going into retrograde, Mars going into retrograde, there's so much stuff happening with the full moons, the new moons. Just expect some of the things to come up, but use them to let them go. And then to end this reading, we have the Knight of Pentacles and the Five of Swords. So the Knight of Pentacles is, there is going to be an offer of money. You're definitely going to be able to move forward in your creative projects. Something's going to come in, whether if you've been waiting for a loan or a mortgage or a partner that has money, something's going to come in. If you're in the middle of a deal that you're hoping that will come in a positive way, it will. That's what the Knight of Pentacles is telling you. And the Five of Swords is saying there's going to be manipulation involved. There's going to be something being manipulated and asking you to watch out for it. And we always think it's someone else. We always think when we think of manipulation or we think of something is trying to take something away from us, it's someone else, and it's not necessarily so. Sometimes we're the worst, our own worst enemy, right? Because sometimes we can't see how all those things that have played out in the past have a way of keeping us from what is in front of us in our future. So if you're going into partnership with someone, just, cross your T's and dot your I's. But also watch your own state of mind, your own emotions, and make sure that you're not bringing the experiences from the past into all the future relationships and situations, because they're not going to help you. They're not going to assist you unless they're positive. They're not going to help you. So from my Españolas, I got 3 cards. I had the Rey de Copas, El Rey de Copas, the King of Cups, Temperance, and the Magician. So what the King of Cups tells me is it's necessary to have emotional sovereignty. Work on your emotional sovereignty. Become like the King of Cups, which is complete dominion over self and complete dominion over the emotional insecurities. Just be sure of who you are, because there's a lot of generosity. Also, the King of Cups could be an actual male, divine masculine coming into the picture. It doesn't only have to be about balancing the masculine energy and tempering the masculine energy. It could be that there will be an actual physical entry into your life of a masculine energy. So you could be male gender and have more of a feminine energy, and you could have a woman coming into your life that's moving masculine energy. So these are not about genders. This is about energy. And the King of Cups has his shit together. You know what I'm saying? So it's either saying that you're going to be able to encompass this energy, or someone in this relationship holds this energy, or is asking you to be that. So the King of Cups can vary for everybody, and believe me, it's multi-layered. So this could mean the same thing to the same person. Both things could relate to the same person. And then Temperance is what I've been talking about. This is what we need. It reminds me of Strength. The Strength card and the Star card is telling you you have angelic guidance. It's asking you to flow with what the universe is bringing you, because it's actually trying to guide you, and to stay calm, cool, and collected, not to lose your cool. To balance between your intuition and your logic, between the heart and the mind. And then it's telling you, use the wand. The magician is saying, okay, so you have all the elements and you're the fifth element, right? You have all four elements in your toolbox and you are the fifth. Use your wand. So what does that mean? Well, how do I use my wand? I mean, if you were to ask me, I would say to you, what are you saying to yourself? Are you vigilant? Are you the observer of your thoughts? Are you being positive? Are you creating vision boards? Are you recording yourself with mantras of positivity? I mean, there's so much that we can do to try and manifest. In addition to actually going out and doing things like, did you make that phone call? Did you, do the physical things towards what you're trying to manifest? Because sometimes we get stuck. We get stuck and we don't do the things that we need to do. And we know what they are. Like, I don't even have to say what they are. Some of us are in the middle of major manifestations and we're not moving forward. So for my goddess cards, I got 3 cards. The first one's the Nine of Wands. It's telling you that there is a certain aspect of all of this where you need to pause and observe. You need to go into some contemplation. And many times it has to do with not only who's in front of us and what is the true underlying intent, or what are the real possibilities about going into a partnership with someone and moving something forward. But sometimes it's about our own dialogue. Can you observe yourself? Can you pause and observe how you're talking to yourself and what you're creating? Because we're manifesting from the way we speak to ourselves, from the dialogue we're having. So pause and observe that. Also, the Seven of Cups is about decadence and indulgence. And it's saying, what are you desiring? It's asking you to take a look emotionally. What are your desires about? And are you actually on the right track there? When I see the Seven of Cups, it means that you're going to have a lot of decisions that are going to come up. You might have someone come into your life that might look like very tempting and is asking you, what are you doing? Like, are you paying attention to the choices you're making? Just because there's a shiny object in front of you, whether it's a car, or a Gucci bag, or a beautiful man or woman, it doesn't mean that you need to make those choices because it's shiny and beautiful. It's telling you to understand what it is that you want to create in your life and make solid choices emotionally to watch that part of ourselves. Because I with no judgment, I say that with no judgment. I just say that everything that we do has a consequence or a chain reaction to it, regardless of whether you believe in karma or whether you believe in. This is not about right and wrong. This is just, if A plus B will equal something, it's going to equal something, whatever that is. And then it's warning you with the moon. It's telling you that what you see is not as clear. There's no clarity in the things that you're seeing physically. That your dreams and your intuition are more clear than what you're actually seeing physically. So it's telling you to go into your meditative state, listen to your intuition, write down your dreams. You're gaining a lot of information that will guide you there more than if you go with your logical mind or go strictly by your emotions on what's in front of you when you're making decisions. Okay, so I pulled 3 cards on the Joanna. I usually try to pull 1, but 3 fell out, so I figure I'm going to read all 3. The first one is joy. The goddess asks, what is your relationship to pleasure? Joy is the counterbalance to duty and responsibility. Are you in balance? Assess what brings you joy and how much or little of it you have in your life. Check your beliefs. Do you deserve joy? Advice: cultivate joy in your life daily. Make room for joy to dwell within you. The second card I pulled is solitude. Now is the time to go inward, retreat. This is a time of strength. This peaceful state of refuge allows for resolution of the past, restores reserves, and serves as an incubation period for new directions. This is not a lonely time, but a sacred gift you give yourself in order to intimately connect with your deepest wisdom. Growth always follows an inward journey. And the last is release. Now's the time to set free any and all non-productive energy. Release is not surrender, for surrender has an element of helplessness to it. You're not helpless, but reminded that it takes strength to let go of restrictions that hinder your happiness. This is an empowered state. Let go of what no longer serves you. It occupies your time, space, and energy. What do you need to liberate yourself from? So here we go. It's really like a repeat of the reading, especially in terms of solitude, asking you to go into your inner world, observe how you're thinking, what you're doing, and use this time between having to act on what's coming in your life and these rest periods to your advantage, and realize that they're there for a reason. They're there for you to gain wisdom. They're there for you to rest. And it's telling you to release. Again, that's a big deal. A lot of us are not releasing the past. We're still living in the hurts and in the situations that have happened to us in the past. And these, if you don't let go of them, it's sometimes hard to move into something new. So do the best you can and stay in the state of joy. Thank you. If these readings resonate, again, recommend me to others, subscribe to my channel, and just wishing you, I have another reading coming up now because I pulled cards today, so there is another one that maybe you could wait a couple of days and listen to if it's too much. Okay, have a beautiful day.